Hey, hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate a subscribe. This is a daily vlog. I vlog every single day and I'm loving it, guys. I really am. It's so nice to have a community like this and to have everybody sort of come along with the journey for me. So every day I talk about something uniquely new and different, and today is no exception. So today I'm going to be talking about how do you know if you've got a good partner, and what to do if you don't have somebody that stands by you. Well, it's a tough one, isn't it? We all get into relationships in the hope and the prospect of having something that's rewarding, that's mutually rewarding, that's something that's nice to have. And yeah, not everybody has that, and over time that can reveal itself. As you know, I'm just out walking my dog, so just stand by for a second. Let me get him off the lead there. There he goes. So yeah, look, relationships, they can be the best of things, they can be the worst of things. And if it's something that's not so good for you, then you've obviously got to think about trying to get out of it. Hang on, I'm just going to do this for my dog. There he goes. Yes, now there we are, lovely. So what are the signs there then if you in a relationship and you're thinking that you should want to get out of it? Well, I guess on the most immediate level, we all have people in our lives who we like to think support us financially, emotionally, physically. They do everything they can to just be there for you, to be everything that you need. And in turn, a true relationship is where you are everything for them. And when it flows naturally, there's no need to think about it. I think it just flows. And I read somewhere that the most obvious sign of a failing relationship is when the physicality goes, and then that drops off, and then there's no urgency or immediacy to have that physical connection. And over time, you notice the comments, you notice that things can sort of drop off. But I think for me, what you've got to understand is that when you're in a relationship, sometimes one of the people might have something bad happen to them. And it's whether or not you feel that you are supported through that terrible time, that horrible thing that can happen to you. Now, not everybody gets that back. And I think if you don't feel supported, loved, appreciated, these are all signs that I think that you should get out. No, I am no relationship expert by far. I am not. I've had what I would regard as probably, 3 long-term relationships in my life. Long-term, and I was married once. So, but I did read somewhere as well that said that in order for somebody to be an expert, you have to have been doing it at least 5 years. So I don't know. I've been in relationships longer than 5 years. So does that make me an expert? Well, according to that, it does. But the reality is, no, I wouldn't put myself up as an expert. Certainly not a relationship expert. But the signs are there if you are able to recognize them. So if you're going through a difficult time and you don't feel supported, that's a key indicator. I think, you can say to yourself, well, maybe they just don't recognize or identify with your difficult time. But I think if you love and really care about somebody, you're going to have somebody that's going to support you, love you, and be there for you at every step of the way. And I think that's an important thing to recognize. Not everybody has that, though, in a relationship. And some would say, what kind of relationship is that? Well, I remember a quote from William Shakespeare. And he said, "Love is not love which alters when its alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove. It's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken." I think those are brilliant words, don't you? I think those are fine words to identify what love is. And what love is different for different people. What might be my version of love might not be your version of love. It's very unique to each of us as individuals, and we share similar sort of traits in terms of being in relationships and having love. In a relationship, there's normally 2 people, and you spend time together. There's an intimacy, There's an intimacy to the exclusion of all others. And relationships, like I said earlier, can be the best of things, they can be the worst of things. If they're the worst of things, you've got to get out of it for your own sanity. You've got to make sure that you have a life that is worthy of living without the misery of having somebody who's toxic and being around you. That is not a relationship, according to me at least. And I just think that if you have that, you've got to make every effort to get out of it. It's not great. Those of you who may know, I used to go to a lot of domestic incidents as a former police officer, but you know, it's my experience that there are many reasons why people have domestics. They have discourse in their relationships, and you know, again, that can be because of adulterous behaviour, financial issues. It could be dependency issues. There's a ton of things that really could get in the way of a relationship. But recognizing that you shouldn't be in one is something that you need to know. Recognizing that a relationship isn't working and stepping away from that gives you peace and gives you sanity. And sometimes, even if somebody says to you they don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, you may feel that immediate pain and hurt. But upon real, true reflection, upon that introspection, you may actually say to yourself, this is still the right thing. And you may even not even shed a tear about it. It may be something that you don't care about at that point because you've suffered too much. Like I say, a lot of reasons why people choose to end relationships and not be in them. And relationships are very, very funny things. And, oh, sorry, just waiting for that to go by. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, how you feel about a relationship is entirely, you know, unique to you. Sometimes, you know, I know somebody that stayed in a rather unharmonious relationship for a very long time, and you know, it cost them dearly. You know, it cost them, you know, because what it is, you've got family members and friends who've got opinions about that other person, and that can have a negative effect on you and your relationship with those people. So understanding that and understanding relationships, you know, it's a complex issue. It really is. But only you know if the relationship that you have is something that you want to continue with and pursue. But I would say, finishing off on a positive, that if you are in love with somebody and they are in love with you, it's the most magical experience in the world. It can really be a positive driver in your life. You can feel absolutely secure and wanted and loved and supported, and it's such an amazing feeling if you ever have that. And how sad is this going to sound now? I don't think in all the time that I've been in relationships that I've ever really truly been loved the way I felt I should have been loved. That sounds so horrible to say, doesn't it? But it's absolutely true. And being a single man, having not long come out of a relationship, yeah, I just find that just startling to say, but I'm being honest. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. This is by no means the oracle on relationships, and please just take this with how it's meant. And as always, thank you so much for following me on my journey. Tomorrow I'll talk about something uniquely different, and thank you so much for subscribing. And it means a lot. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, and see you then. Okay, see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye.